Hello, I'm Sara Perry, and this is my follow-up vlog after the winner has been announced of Celebrity Big Brother. Well done, Courtney. You were my favourite, and I did predict you would be a winner. And thank you for coming through like that. I just think you were fantastic to watch. I just loved. I am absolutely. I, I just cannot. You as Courtney, I just couldn't take my eyes off you. You were so much a female. It was like, how do you do that makeup? It was just amazing. I found myself actually looking at all your YouTube videos, if you are listening to this, and just being mesmerized of the perfection and detail and quality that you have put into your act, really, because it was just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And I was showing a friend the other night and going, look, this is amazing. This is just, it's just incredible quality. So I was asked to do this by a subscriber to look at where Andrew and Courtney are going and what, insights on there. Now, I feel that there is a journey still to take, but I don't feel that they will end up together. Okay, so anybody that really wants them to, I really don't get that. But what I do feel is that they have a very, very strong soul connection, and it is coming from a past life. But they've actually had about 2 or 3 at least where they have been in situations of, well, linked to gender or gender equality more than anything, and where they stand in society and what they should or shouldn't do. Now, if you look back into the past, there was certain, which all this Big Brother was about, really. It was like, where are you in society, as a female or a male, and where do you stand, and, have you got a right to vote? And, and as things have moved on in, as life has moved on, things have become more, there's been that need for equality, and women are very, very out there spoken now, whereas like maybe in the past, they weren't allowed to be. In some situations it's like you're seen but you're not heard. This is your job, this is your job. Everything was very, very defined. A man is a man, a woman is a woman. And back then what I see is their lives crossing, and I keep seeing this big image of Andrew dressed in a sort of armor like King Arthur. He's going out to battle. And I don't know why I'm being shown that, because I'm not showing Shane or Courtney, shall we say. If I use either one, don't take it personally. I'm just using one of the names. Him as the female. So Shane's the female in this, and Andrew's the male. And there was a feeling that he had to fight for Shane at that point, or Courtney, should we say. But it was like an endless battle. That's what I feel. But then when I look at this again, I'm seeing the genders change again. And it's almost like every time I go back, I'm like, who is who? Who is the female? Who is the male? And I think this is what this was all about. When we have a soul connection, people come back into this life, or they keep reconnecting to resolve those issues. Now, this was a really powerful program this time. It wasn't, the drama wasn't in all the fighting and who's having sex with who and everything. There was some really serious issues that come up, and I really, really enjoyed it because it was a label for people to voice their opinions and do it in a really clear way and heartfelt way. And there was so many different gender things going on here. You've sort of got a bit of everything, really, and different viewpoints and everything, and I just loved it. And I feel that this was a really good place. It was like they're all sitting in the House of Commons. Celebrity Big Brother were in the House of Commons. You imagine, and they were all going, well, I think this and I think that, but actually they were just in a house. So it's like taking all of that, stick it in a house, and everybody not being able to get out, but they've got to deal with what they've got until they've dealt with it. And I just feel that Shane, Courtney, had a very big voice, very strong views, very amazing way of articulating what he believed in and what was important, and really good listener. it was a worthy winner. I feel like he came here and he taught a lot of things, as did Anne. I feel taught a lot of things. Andrew displayed a lot of learning there for people, because he showed himself to be somebody that was so comfortable in his own skin, was happy to be himself and be emotionally open and loving, whether he was with a man or a woman. It was okay, because actually to love is to love. If you love your parents, you love them, don't you? You can be demonstrative. You're quite happy to hug somebody that you are connected with. I mean, not everybody, but you'll hug your mum or your dad. So what's the difference with hugging your friend or being that close? It's just that it's the way we, a society see things sometimes, and we've created this as we've gone along. And what I see for them, it's like they've both taken this journey through past lives to become more of like teachers, really. And whatever they've experienced, they've had to overcome challenges through the different generations to voice what they feel, to show society what they've had to do. And they've had to fight and battle to get things on an equal ground, because every time they've been together, they haven't been on equal ground. It's just the way it is in society. Wherever they've been in society, they've had to fight to have just a friendship. But I feel it was more about love. This was a hugely deep love for each other and respect for each other. And it's funny, because as I look back through the past lives, I see at one point Shane being a female at this point, and then Andrew in his armour, and Shane sort of falling down a ravine or some sort of volcano, and Andrew just getting there to the last point. He just can't quite save him, and every time it was like, whether they were friends, they were siblings, whether they were lovers, in either gender, whatever they were placed at that point, they've experienced all those different energies of love. And in this life, they've come together to bring it all together. You see what I mean? They're both comfortable with all of it, but they still, at the end of the day, the link through all of it was love, respect, and that unconditional connection that so many people wish for. Now, obviously, this doesn't it doesn't necessarily mean that, for some people out there might think, oh yeah, but we just want them to be together, and that would be a wonderful love story. But I think at the end of the day, Andrew is heterosexual, and I think he would be quite happy to experiment on occasion, like he did. He dragged up, and he was quite happy with that, and he really enjoyed it, because I think he quite likes his feminine side, and he is an entertainer, he's a performer, but so is Shane. He really knows how to get his point across. He likes the limelight too. That connects them on so many different levels. They've got so many things that they agree on and they connect with. But if you have a really good friend in your life, a really close girlfriend or male friend, doesn't necessarily mean you have to be together, and you because you love them so deeply and you honor them and respect them, that you suddenly you're gonna end up together. I mean, I feel very passionately about people I'm close to, and I love them with all my whole soul and being, but it doesn't mean I want to necessarily hook up with them and get married. So, and this is the same with soul connections. People misinterpret them, thinking this is my soul man, this is my soul woman, and we're meant to be together. It's not. It's often that you need to come back to resolve an issue, or you've been put on this earth to guide, to lead, to teach, and your actions together are what. And I feel in this case, what they're doing is showing the world they've been put in a position to express in a certain way, to reconnect together. They're strong. They've been separated for so long. I feel like now they can be together. It's not such hard work. It's hard work maybe if they wanted to be, maybe because one of them doesn't want, the whole the marriage thing, and the other one might want it, that's not the easiest thing, but it's easier for them to be accepted as who they are, in this world, and I feel they've been on this long journey through all these past lives where things haven't been right. You know, they've had to battle, they've lost each other through the way because they've been, you know, trying to show that it's okay. You know, they believed in themselves. I feel that all these past lives, they've had strong convictions. They've maybe thought differently than other people. They've maybe stood out in different ways, and that, but in each case, their relationships haven't been accepted for some reason or another because of what society determines or what just the circumstances they're in. There's so much depth to each of them, and when I first saw Andrew on The Apprentice, he just seemed a completely different person. I know it's a different show and people, you know, expected to work in a, you know, express themselves in a certain way, and that, and it is a different setup. You know, you're trying to get a job, but I felt that he was so much more likable in Celebrity. But it makes you realise when you watch these types of reality shows, particularly Big Brother, when you're watching the celebrities in particular, because the way they express themselves in shows or how you see them, you don't see the real them. And in these situations, you start really seeing that internal pain that some of them have gone through. You know, they open up about their real lives, and you realise that they're not just, you know, that maybe we've misjudged them in certain ways. And I feel the same with Andrew and Shane, that they've both had some experience in their lives which has actually given them the motivation. The pain that they've caused, they use that to motivate themselves forwards. They haven't given up. You know, this is again what has brought them together. They're both fighters, they're survivors, and that they're good for each other in that way. The moment Andrew left the house, it was almost like a light went out of Shane. It was like, I've lost, you know, this is keeping me going. You know, they sort of, together they're strong. Okay, now I feel that they will always connect. I think they're always going to have this soul thing going on, but yeah, I don't see them as a couple. So again, I'm sorry for those people that really think that's going to happen, but I do see a big change of pattern happening in their lives, and that Andrew is going to take off and do lots and lots of things. He's very ambitious. He wants to do really, really well. He wants to get his name out there, and he loves the limelight. Now, I know that Shane, Courtney, loves the limelight, that, you know, got his own show. Courtney has, and there's a lot going on YouTube, and has really gone somewhere with it, you know, and is quite big. And I feel has sort of taken, you know, it's already there, whereas I feel like Andrew is going to really roll with this now and use this to better himself. This could cause conflict, and I do see the feelings were very strong for Shane, for Andrew, and that at times it isn't. He accepts him, but it is sort of sad because it is like, you know, I found someone that really accepts me, who I can be one of the boys with, I can be one of the girls with, and it really works. And I feel that he's been looking for love for a long time, and for people to really to be on the same level with, that you can have those conversations with, that you can really be yourself. And so I do feel there's going to be a little bit of, oh, I wish, but there's still the acceptance there. And I think it's going to be a case of, I'd rather have you in my life than not at all, you know, as a friend. And I do see a lovely, lovely balance, and that Andrew will go to Oz and do some more travelling. And I see them meeting each other's friends and really using this quite a lot. I think there's going to be an awful lot in the press about them, and they're going to have fun with it. So watch it, because I think that they might, you know, put some stuff out there just to see what people do, because they'll just have a laugh with it. They're like two children in a way, but so much fun to watch because of that youth side of it, that fun, spontaneous side. But I'm seeing a lot of honesty here, but a lot of insight, and I see that they will, you know, they're going to become lifelong friends and remain that way. And I do see Andrew getting married with children, and that Shane will be there. And there's so much to come for these two. But I do feel that at some points it's not going to be easy. Because I see Andrew sort of, drifting off doing his thing, and then sometimes there's these little separations and they come back together. But I think that they're strong enough in this generation to keep that connection, and together they are a big voice, and they're showing something huge to the world, that it's okay to be yourself and be individual. And I think that was the biggest message of all of this, with everybody in that house, that it's okay to be yourself, it's okay to believe in what you believe, and just be happy, without it having to be a thing. It's just like, let's just enjoy ourselves and smile and love who we want to love, and be the people that we can be the best with, and reconnect and show the world that actually our differences are our strengths if we blend them together. So that is my interpretation of the Andrew and Courtney love story. But they were just so entertaining. I was quite sad when Andrew left, and I do think it had a big effect on Shane. But you pulled it back, Courtney. Shane, Courtney. But lots of love to you both. Really enjoyed this series, and if you'd like to subscribe to this channel, then just subscribe. Or you'd like a private reading, if anyone is listening out there and would like a look at their past lives, then do go to my website, www.saraperrypsychic.co.uk, and I would be happy to help. Or follow me on Twitter or Facebook. Take good care. Bye for now.